everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well as I always do. Apologies for the delay. Streamlabs OBS has just gone mental this morning. I don't know what the hell's happened to it in any shape or form. I won't be able to use the usual chat box, so we're just purely streaming live to YouTube. So give me 2 seconds, guys. It's always the way. Whenever you try and do for some random reason, whenever you try and do two things, try and do a simultaneous one, ever since the update, it's gone absolutely bonkers. But I hope you guys are all right. So here we go. The chat's up and running now. So that's all good. Perfect. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below, where it will take you directly through to the the England section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, guys, as you can see from the icon that's up here, along with Admiral and Umbro, there's really nice gear in there. Just in general, sorry, I'm just really all over the place. It's really screwed the start of the day up. But any purchases you guys make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending directly onto Iron Supporting Food Banks, the charity within the Newham area that are helping those within the Newham area that are reliant on food banks, hence, Iron Supporting Food Banks. Okay, so we've got one person watching, so thank you very much. I do apologise for the delay and everything, guys, but it's just YouTube. It's just the way that the systems communicate. Now, so the fixtures for the 21-22 season are up and available. So let's discuss them very, very quickly. First of all, so we are on the first fixture away is to Newcastle United on the 14th of August, and then we're at home to Leicester on the 21st, Crystal Palace at home on the 28th, and then in September we have Southampton away, Manchester United at home, Leeds United away on the 11th, 18th and 25th, subject to Europa League, of course. And on the 2nd of October we're at home to Brentford, again subject to to the Europa League game the previous Thursday. Away to Everton on the 16th of October, home to Spurs on the 23rd of October, again dependent on Europa League. 30th of October, away to Aston Villa. 6th of November, Liverpool at home, Wolves away 20th of November, Saturday 27th of November, Manchester City away, Brighton and Hove Albion at home on the Tuesday, November 30th. 4th of December at home to Chelsea, 11th of December away to Burnley, away to Arsenal on the 14th of December, home to Norwich on the 18th, Southampton on the 26th, and away to Watford on the 28th of December. 1st of January, Crystal Palace away, Leeds United at home on the 15th, 22nd of January, Man United away. Tuesday, the 8th of February, we're at home to Watford, Leicester City away on the 12th, Newcastle at home on the 19th, Wolves on the 26th. March is Liverpool away on Saturday, the 5th of March. 12th of March is home to Villa, away to Spurs on the 19th, home to Everton on the 2nd of April, away to Brentford on the 9th, home to Burnley on the 16th, away to Chelsea on the 23rd, 30th of April, Arsenal at home, 7th of May, Norwich away, Manchester City 15th of May home, and the last game of the season, the 22nd of May, the Brighton and Hove Albion. So guys, good morning, Darren. Hope you're alright, mate. So let me just take that off. So let's go into a bit more detail. Hopefully a few more people will give us your thoughts on this, because what we're going to do now is we're going to go through these, each and every single one of them, because I say that was just a quick snippet. So let's just do Newcastle away, because I say that's the first game of the season. So where are we? Newcastle away. Where is it? So Newcastle away for the first fixture of the season. Very, very tasty. Very, very tasty. The 4 people that are watching this, please do give us your thoughts on these fixtures as and when we're discussing them. Not relatively in depth, but it's the most important thing, of course, the first thing that springs to mind is, are we going to be able to go to it? Are we going to be able to go to Newcastle away as things stand at the moment with the coronavirus and the Delta variant? You know, that's the more important thing, more than anything else. Are we going to be able to go and watch that? You know, genuinely are we going to be able to go and watch that game? It's interesting to say the least. Good morning, Cyber Leader. So come on. It's an issue, I'm afraid, mate. Just have to live with it. I'm afraid if it's laggy, it's laggy. Hold on 2 seconds. Let's just see. I can see what you're. Right, give me. So hopefully we're all back up and running now. Let me just double check the audio for you guys. Perfect. It's all working well. So brilliant. Just waiting for the chat to update itself. I see Chad's put looks like an easy first game. Don't worry, Darren. We're going to go through these in depth. Just waiting for everything to catch up with itself. Here we go. Paul says, JP was sounding a little bit like the real cyber leader there. It's like it went mental. It went mental this morning. Everything wasn't syncing up properly. I don't know. Anyway, this is the first fixture of Saturday the 14th of August is the first game that we're going to be playing. I'm glad everything's all right for you guys now. It's ridiculous. I really hate using these systems. I really do sometimes. But anyway, let's get on with it. So I believe that this isn't that sort of show, mate. We're talking about each fixture. Yeah, we're going to talk about each individual fixture because I've literally only just seen this before going live. So the whole point of this is we're discussing it with each other. So we're going to go through game by game, and we're going to talk about what could happen. We're going to talk about possible points out of the fixtures. So this is which is exactly what we did last summer. When the fixtures came out last year, we broke it all down, and we'll do the points by points on there, and then we'll see what we're gonna have to do. Okay. So yeah, so it's this Newcastle away for the first game of the season. This is gonna be a very, very entertaining game, to say the least. Hopefully we're not gonna have the same reflection that we did last season. Everything just goes absolutely tits up with the home game as it was against Newcastle, and you know it causes us to be panicking, to say the least. As the squad stand at the moment, yeah, I genuinely think we can get a point out of this. So, guys, let me know your thoughts on this as well. Let me know what you're thinking on this. Do you think we're going to get a point? Do you think we're going to lose? Do you think we're going to win? I mean, don't just, it's West Ham, we're going to win. Just honestly, genuinely, just give us your thoughts on how you think this is going to go. Paul says, had to laugh about your question whether we can go to the first fixture at Newcastle. Bearing in mind it's almost a 600-mile round trip, I would imagine a lot of fans would hope not. Well, mate, Paul, a lot of people do. A lot of people go. I know, like for example, Kent Hammers, for example, loves going to Newcastle, and he really hopes that he can. But as things stand at the moment, you know, we're on the 16th of June. That's literally 2 months away. Is the lockdown going to be sufficient enough for them to have away fans? We don't know. We genuinely don't know what it's going to be at the moment. Cyber Leader says that will be tough as Newcastle always beat us. What's the news on Anderson recon? Cyber Leader, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fixtures only. This is why it's down here saying this is of the topic. Okay, come back for the live chat tonight, and from 7 o'clock, and we'll talk about it. This is purely the fixtures, nothing else. The fixtures. Okay. The reason why other people join, other channels allow you to ask those questions, they join in, is because they don't have the facility that we do on this channel, where we have a live chat every week. It's purely discussing the fixtures. Okay. So those that are watching the replay of this, which is more than likely going to happen. Give us your thoughts in the comments. And guys, Darren says it's a difficult away fixture. I personally think we're going to pick up a point on this. I really do think we're going to pick up a point. So, as I say, but guys, give me your thoughts on this fixture. Because as I say, at the end of the day, it is going to be a very difficult fixture. And yes, I do think I do think we're going to get a point out of this. Paul says, yes, amazing how devoted some fans are. Travel over land and sea, it was already said by others. Newcastle are a bogey team, so it could be a long trip for nothing. Probably better to play them early. Right, well, do you think, well, Paul, what's your answer on that? Are we losing? Are we getting a point? Come on. I know it's 9 o'clock in the morning, but come on. Use your brains, people. Come on. Right, so next one. While we're waiting for you guys to give me your answers on that, hopefully more people will join in the chat. There are more people coming in now, so welcome. Give me your thoughts, guys, on what you think is going to happen for the first fixture, the 14th of August at Newcastle away. The next fixture is, Paul says Newcastle are slow starters. I reckon a draw as well. Cool, perfect. Next fixture at home. First fixture at home at the season, Leicester City. Again, are we all going to be able to go there? Are we going to be able to all watch this in capacity? Hopefully, yes. Of course, of course, we all want to have that to happen. But let's see where we're going with that. So Leicester, very difficult side to beat, as we know. Although we did well against them last season. We can't. They do give us a bit of grief. We do have a bit of slow starts with them and everything else. But personally, I think we can I think we can beat them at home. I genuinely think we can beat them at home. So guys, let me know, as always, let me know your thoughts on this. It'd be interesting. So far for the 2 games, I've got us picking up 4 points. So let us know what your thoughts on this. Obviously Vardy's going to be a very difficult one to keep quiet. We always struggle against him. Schmeichel is a very good goalkeeper, and props to him for what he did in the Denmark game when Eriksen went down. I do generally think this is going to be a tough one. I do generally think it's going to be a tough game. Really do. But I think we can get. I genuinely think we can get all 3 points out of this. So guys, come on. There's 4 people watching. So give me your thoughts on these fixtures. Because I'm just talking to myself at the moment. And also the next game after this, because I don't want to be sitting there waiting, sitting there twiddling my thumbs because nobody's really chatting at the minute. Darren's saying that's Thailand territory. I have to say a draw. Paul says generally I think that it's better not to play the promoted teams early, as they often hit the ground running. Well, Paul, what are you talking about? Leicester aren't we're not looking at a promoted side until October. Seriously, come on. Are Leicester involved in Champions League or Europa League? They're involved in they're involved in the Europa League, same as us, because they finished 5th. But all of that is completely irrelevant because all these games are before the Europa League kicks in. So let's have a look on that. Of course. But yeah, so come on, we're purely focusing on this. So guys, come on, please. There's 4 people watching. Not only Darren and Paul have given their thoughts on the first game of the season so far. Sorry, Darren's given his thoughts on this fixture. Right, so let's go to the next one because I've got work to do, quite frankly. Crystal Palace at home on the Saturday, the 28th of August. This will be a tough one. This will generally be a tough one. I do really think. Paul, I've literally just answered that question. This is before Europa League starts. because they are in the same. They automatically went into the group stages, same as us. So it starts. It starts in the middle of September. So it's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. We are, and I'll say it again, and I will keep repeating it until it sinks in. We are purely focusing on the Premier League fixtures. That's it. So I need you to please give me your thoughts on what you think these games are going to be. Paul says, in that case, I would say a draw if lucky. Thank you, Paul. So, right, moving on to the next game, Crystal Palace at home. Right, the last game of August. So, I generally do think this will be a very, very hard game as well. So, Darren thinks a draw at Newcastle, a draw with Leicester, and a win against Palace. Yep, absolutely, completely agree with you. I do generally think that we could get a win out of this as well, for that matter. Hang on. So yeah. So I've got us at the moment. Paul, nobody knows. Please, Paul, just it'd be a very interesting one. I know we've because obviously we're looking at quite a few things, but it's irrelevant because I don't know. I don't know who they're looking at. This is purely a West Ham based channel that is purely focusing on these. So the managers is irrelevant. Kieran, good morning, mate. This is a good time for you. It's not a good time for me, mate, because I've got to try and wrap this up as quickly as possible because I've got work to do. And there are people that, and we've literally been live for 15 minutes. We haven't even got past the first month yet. James, welcome, mate. We need to get a point at Newcastle. We do, absolutely. That's what I said as well. So guys, give me your thoughts on this Crystal Palace fixture as well. Paul thinks I think that will have a big influence on the Palace result, new manager bounce, etc. Possibly, but bearing that in mind, mate. What do you think West Ham are going to do against Palace at home? Come on, I'm not asking you to narrow a pie down to 15 places. I'm asking you to give me your thoughts on this fixture. Do you think we'll win? Do you think we'll lose? James says Palace, we will win. Thank you. I completely agree with you. So the points for August, I'm putting us at 7 points. Next game, Southampton away. Very, very tricky game, as we know. First time that we've actually gone away to Southampton, not at Christmas as well, for that matter. Kieran says smash Palace. Paul says win against Palace unless they get Zidane as manager. James says a draw against Southampton. Absolutely agree with you there, fella. Completely. Absolutely. Palace is always Southampton is always a very, very tricky one to get. Paul reckons a win against Southampton. Absolutely. Darren says a win against the Saints. Fair enough. There's that nobody's right, nobody's wrong, because these are our thoughts on what's going to happen. So that's really. Kieran says you'll take a point. Absolutely fair enough. Yeah, it's nice to see people generally getting involved in the conversation now, giving their thoughts. I'm not asking much. Right. So next game, subject to Europa League, Paul. Before you say anything, on the Saturday the 18th of September. We will be playing Man United at home. That fixture may fluctuate as a result of it. But yeah, Man United at home on the 18th of September could possibly be the Sunday, depending on the Europa fixture, of course. But this could be very. I think we can get a point out of this. I genuinely think we can get a point out of this. James says the game will be on Sunday at 4:00. Exactly my thinking here, mate. Exactly my thinking. It is so. Yeah, but results wise, James says United be a chuff, but I think we could win or draw. Well, that helps. Thanks, mate. But yeah, I personally I think we can get a point out of this. I genuinely do think we can get a point out of this. So we're on 9 points so far this season. Kieran says 2-1 win. Why not? Absolutely agree with you. Next game, Leeds away. What do you think on that one, guys? Leeds away. So there's no game on the following weekend. Sorry. No. Let me rephrase that. Let me refresh that. Chad says Saints will be a hard game because Danny Ings might be on form, and I think we will get a point at Man United. Fair enough, fella. Fair enough. And now say Leeds away. I'm thinking 3 points here, to be honest, guys. I'm generally thinking 3 points on this one. James says going to say win. Leeds got found out last year towards the end of the season. Absolutely agree with you, mate. They really did. Kieran says Leeds is hard to predict. It is. It is a very hard fixture. You know, don't get me wrong. We had a really good turn against them last season, but you're absolutely right. Second season syndrome and all that. As much as I don't like that term, I genuinely think we can have things to do. Darren says a draw, but I've just found my West Ham specs. All right, so moving on to the first game of October, which is Brentford away. Sorry, Brentford at home, I should say. Paul says the Europa League schedule will hit our league form big time unless the board start to stick their hands in the. So again, we'll talk about that tonight, mate. Just with Man United probably lose, unfortunately, then win after the break. So yeah, the first game of October is Brentford at home. Interesting second almost so-called London derby. Brentford's in Middlesex, so it's not really London derby, but they class Watford as a London derby. So, you know, it's Darren says we'll beat Leeds. So Brentford, this is going to absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say. This is a tough one. So James says as my mate is a Brentford fan, I'm going to go and say win, but good game. Good game. Kieran says expect to beat these teams with style. It'd be nice. Brentford, I think they will struggle this season. I genuinely do. I watched the second leg of the playoff against Swansea, and they were very lucky to win that game. Very lucky, and we did the live watch along for the playoff final. And even though Brentford played some good football, it wasn't Premier League class. So as it stands, I think this is an easy victory for West Ham. I genuinely do. But you never know. You absolutely never know. Paul says Brentford probably a little too early for the usual dip in form. I sense a draw. Antonio probably going to be injured by then. More than likely, and if we don't get a striker in, mate, which we'll talk about at another time. Darren says draw with Brentford. Yeah, I do think that by this fixture, we're looking at seven games in. Kieran says me too, John. They were average. They were 7 games in, 15 points on the board so far. I'd be very happy with that. Completely happy with that. The next topic. So the next fixture is Everton away. Now, I know Paul's going to ask about the manager stuff, but it's not relevant. It's focusing more on the squads, because obviously they are still talking to a few people. Apparently, Rafa Benitez could very well possibly be in the running for the Everton job. But Everton away, 8th game in, I'm thinking a draw. I genuinely think a draw on this. I'm not really sure. We are going to lose games. We are going to lose games in this, but I don't think we will just yet. 8 games in, I do think the next fixture's a loss. I do. I don't want to. You guys are going to hate me for it, but I do think the next fixture is an absolute loss. James says Everton gonna say draw, tight game. Absolutely, completely agree with you. But as I say, guys, I do genuinely think that this game is a loss. I think we're going to lose here. I genuinely do think we're going to lose here. Reason being is because again, this game could be on the Sunday because of both teams' involvement in Europa. I really do. Darren says a draw against Everton. Kieran says another tough game to predict. Don't fancy with this one. Exactly right. It is. It will be very. I am. Yeah. I'm not confident with this whatsoever. Really not confident with this at all. It's gonna be a crazy one. James, the Spurs October fixture. I'm gonna say a draw. Fair enough. I don't think we're gonna get anything out of it, mate. I really do. So I hope you guys are keeping tabs on what points you're saying. Paul says Everton defeat. As we move on to the next one, which is Aston Villa away. Now this one I'm more confident about for obvious reasons. 30th of October. I'm more confident on this. I think we will genuinely pick up something decent on this. I'm going. I know we beat them. I know we did very well against them last season. But my instincts this time around saying we are getting a point out of this. I really do think we're getting just a point. So give me your thoughts, guys. What you think we're going to pick up at Villa Park? Tricky team. Grealish is going to hopefully, if he does play for England, Grealish is going to be very difficult to beat. Will probably be diving a lot more than he usually does. James says Villa away win. We will counter attack. Then we could do, but I'm more worried about our finishing product at the end of this, mate. Kieran says fancy win if Grealish doesn't get 3 penalties. So good. It's good. Nice to see you guys that are commenting. It's nice to see that you guys are actually thinking we're going to get a win on this. I'm not so sure. But we'll have to wait and see. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. But not saying any of you guys are wrong in any shape or form. Now this is this may be one of the biggest home games we've got coming up this season. I really do, and I think we're losing this. Liverpool at home. I really do. Paul says so difficult to predict this by this point, as the number of injuries after more games will have a massive impact. If most stay fit, then a draw. Well, I see your point there, Paul. But having said that, under Moyes, our injury record has been fantastic. It really, all clubs are going to pick up injuries. Yeah, all clubs are going to pick up injuries here and there. Especially bearing in mind we've got a Europa League things that run out, so we're going to have to bring in a few more. James says lose to Liverpool, they're a top class side. Absolutely agree with you, mate. Dan says another draw, which I'm thinking it was more to do with Aston Villa. But yeah, it would be good. Paul says Liverpool will be back to form, so defeat, I'm afraid. Absolutely agree with you, mate. So just moving on, because it looks like Kieran says Liverpool will be even tougher next season. So I'm guessing Kieran's going for a loss on that as well from his tone and from knowing him over the last few weeks and months. Next game, double barrel away games. First one, back in the where are we? Where is it? Where is it? What happened to it? Bugger. It's the one I didn't do. Oh, there it is. Sneaking around. Wolves away. First of a double barrel away games in November. Now it looks like there's an international break in before this game happens, after Liverpool and before Wolves, because the Liverpool game's on the 6th of November and this game's on the 20th. So it looks like there's an international break for Wolves away. This will be a toughie. This will be a toughie. Before Paul pipes on this, because obviously Nuno Santos is potentially in the running for the Everton job. He may get it, he may not. There's rumours about Patricio going Ruiz, their goalkeeper going abroad. If both do happen, I completely agree with you there, Kieran. 3 points, no problem. James is going to say when Wolves will struggle with their new manager. Yeah, I do. I do generally think. Paul says Moyes' counter-attacking football at its best. 2 victories on the spin after the international break. Let's be positive. Well, you say that, mate. You say that. The only problem is, the only problem is that the next away game is Manchester City, fella. Don't think we're going to get 2 wins on the bounce. really don't. Darren says draw against Wolves. Chad says I think the Europa League will be tough for us. It will be. Chad. It will be. Because this game potentially could be on the Sunday as well because we're playing Europa League in that one. So I don't get me wrong, Paul. I admire your positivity there and your optimism on this, but no, it's not going to happen. Lose to City too good. Absolutely agree with you there, mate. Absolutely agree with you. It's a shame. You never know. We might get a point. Can't see it, but it's stranger things have happened in football. Let's put it that way. And the last home game of November is West Ham Brighton. Now this is a game that I do just going on previous form. Kieran says we'll have 7 new signings by then. Kieran says we'll have 7 new signings by then. We won't, mate. We won't because it's September. The window closes. Sorry, end of August. The window closes. Chad reckons we can get a point against City. Fair enough. I think we'll get a point against Brighton at home. I really think we will. Of course, I want us to get all 3 points. Of course, but yeah, James agrees with me. Draw all over it. We don't ever beat Brighton ever. Yeah, absolutely agreed. It'd be nice if that we finally do break that duck and we get all 3 points. I think we're more likely to get 3 points at the London Stadium than we are at their place at the Amex. So, but I personally do think that's going to be it. So, heading into December, Kieran says our 7 new signings will beat Brighton. Heading into December on Saturday the 4th, we are at home to Chelsea. We're at home to Chelsea. Paul says, with that in mind, Man City lost, Brighton win. We'll have to wait and see, mate. Have to wait and see. Chelsea at home. Kind of thinking a point. I don't know why, but I really do think a point. I really think we're going to get a point. Bearing in mind we've got potential. We've got potentially Europa League in that week as well, just after it. Yeah, James is agreeing with me. I say a draw. It will be a good game. It will be a good game. But I do generally think it's going to be that. Now, two away games on the bounce. Now, this is probably where Paul's going to say 6 points out of this because I wouldn't be at all surprised if that happens. First away game in December is Burnley. Chelsea will be a force to reckon with, says Paul, but we up our game against them. If the referee isn't as biased as usual, a winner or draw. Absolutely. Darren says a draw against Chelsea. We're all kind of thinking the same thing for Chelsea. Burnley away, first of the two. As hard as Turf Moor is, guys, I'm genuinely thinking the draw. I'm genuinely thinking 3 points on this. I really do. I really think we're gonna get a win out of this. I don't know why, but my instincts are saying we're gonna get a win. Darren says smash Burnley. It'll be very entertaining on this. Just gonna wait for a few more guys for a few more people to put their details in. what they put their thoughts on this. But I do generally think we're gonna smash this. James says, what date is Burnley? It's potentially either the 11th or 12th of December, mate. I'm gonna say a draw. Burnley have a good crowd there. We might struggle. Kieran says time to beat these clubs. I don't know. There's something about this that and the way that the team was playing towards the end of last season and the camaraderie between everybody. I do think this is a win. Paul says Burnley is so hard to predict. They blow so hot and cold. Take a win, I think, but a game up there in midwinter is tough. It's grim up north, apparently. Next game. We're away to Arsenal on the 14th. Now this is where it slightly gets a little bit congested. Yeah, because this was on the Saturday, and then literally 2 or 3 days later, we're playing Arsenal up at their place. I'm thinking a loss because of that. I really, really am thinking a loss because of this. We've got Burnley, then we got Europa, and then we got Arsenal. James has lost as well. Chad says, I think we'll beat Arsenal 2-1. 3 fixtures, mate, in a week and a half. It's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky, and I like that. Kieran says to when we talk about the Burnley game, Chris. He says Chris Woods will score, and everyone's asking for who. I can't see us bringing him in. I generally can't. But anyway, so give us your thoughts for Arsenal away. As I said, nah, not for me. I think this is a loss, guys. I generally do. And then after that, on literally 4 days later, we're playing New Boys Norwich. So it's gonna be a tough one to predict. We haven't seen Norwich for a little while. Obviously one promotion, automatic promotion last season. I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, Antonio's going to get his quadruple again. But Norwich were a very, very poor team that season, and it looks like they've massively, massively improved since over the last year or so. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to go for a point for this game. I really, really am going to go for a point on this. I'm hoping you guys are going to give me your thoughts, because James says Norwich home win, we will bounce back. I'm erring on the outside of caution. Kieran says, I think we can beat these clubs now with Moyes. But yeah, I don't, and I'm not convinced. I'm erring on the side of caution of this. I always do that for promoted sides, especially if I haven't seen them play, which I haven't. Didn't watch any Norwich games last season. Next home game on the bounce, which looks like the Boxing Day game. It looks like we are actually going to be at home at Christmas, which is fantastic news. Really, really is good news. December the 26th, the Sunday. So basically we're pretty much halfway through the season. So guys, halfway through the season, we're looking at I've got us down for 26 points. 26 points for this. Darren says a win against Norwich. Halfway through the season, I'm genuinely thinking we're looking at 26 points out of those 19 games. Not a bad return. So going into the second half of the season, first home game of that is Southampton at home on Boxing or on Christmas weekend, should we say? Because I won't technically speak. Well, it still could be Boxing Day, but I doubt it. But yeah, 26th of December, home to Southampton. I've got a feeling we're going to get a win on this. I really do. I really, really do think we're going to get a win with this game. I'm not sure why. It's just my instincts on this say that it's going to be a win. It really is going to be a win. So come on, guys. Let's see what you're thinking. There's 9 people watching. James's good win record against the Saints at home. Absolutely. It's not brilliant, but it's good. It is good. Kieran says have to pick a win. Fair enough. And then the last game of December. Premier League new boys again. Watford away. So this could be interesting. Now it's interesting that we're playing Southampton twice before we're even playing Watford. It's a bit of a weird one, that, which is why I was saying it looks like the end of the season and so end of the first half of the season. But now it generally looks like it at the end of December is generally going to be the end of this. Yeah. So for this one, I'm going to err on the side of caution because I haven't watched Watford for a couple of seasons. I'm going to go for draw on this. Kieran says a 4-0 win. Very optimistic over in Australia. James says we can beat Watford. We can. I don't think we will. I think we will draw. I'd love to be proven wrong on this. Chad says we should beat Saints, but it will be a close game. Exactly, Chad. That's the reason why I'm thinking a draw, because it will be a close game. Paul says good to play Watford later on. Win. Deeney will be much moany. He will be moaning quite a fair bit, I should imagine. 1st of January, New Year's Day, we are away to Crystal Palace. I'm thinking a win on this, guys. I genuinely am thinking a win. I really think James agrees with me again. A win. I really do think we will win on that. Chad says I've got a feeling Watford will beat us in the last minute. Absolutely, yeah, James. I know you were talking about Palace. Darren says beat the Saints at home and give those who have stayed an old blighty smiles on your faces with some Christmas cheer. We've moved on 2 games since then, mate. Kieran says, Kieran says 2-1 win for Palace. I generally think we're gonna get a win out of that. I really think we will. Okay, the next game. Leeds at home. For some reason, I put up the Leeds at home for the away fixture. Apologies, guys, but West Ham at home to Leeds. I think we can. There's always going to be one error. There's always going to be one. I think we generally can get. I think we can go unbeaten against Leeds. I really think we can. I think we might pick up the double again. Kieran says a shock loss. Darren says double over Palace. James says home win Leeds. We'll play the same way. Absolutely. It'll be very interesting, that one. Very interesting on that. But I do think Leeds will be the team we get a double over again. I really do, especially with the fact that if we actually do bring in an out and out striker, and I'm not talking Lingard, I'm saying an out and out striker. I think we will get the double over them. Next game is Manchester United away. When you're ready, computer. Thank you very much. Tough one. Really, I don't think we're going to win this. I really don't think we will. Saturday the 22nd of January. I don't think we will. I really don't think we're. And again, it looks like there's an international break because we don't play until the second week of February. Kieran says he'll skip this one. James has lost at United with 8 defensive players. Absolutely, I think we're at a loss there, man. I think we are generally going to have a loss there. Where are we? And then there's an international break, and then on Tuesday, the 8th of February, we are at home to Watford. Darren says West Ham specs is a win. I'm guessing that for Man United. James says home win. Yeah, I'm a little bit in two minds about that, but yeah, I think you're right there, mate. I think we will get that. Kieran says a 5-0 home win. Let me just update something quickly. It's a shame I couldn't do this on Facebook, but anyway, so that it just disappear and come back in a minute. And also for that matter, I think it'll be tough. I really do think it'll be a tough one. Really be, but yeah, I think it will be. I think we'll go for that. And then next one, Leicester away. Paul says, if Man United don't get awarded hundreds of penalties by a crooked ref again, I see him struggling again. If Solskjaer stays in charge, Moyes' record and the usual bias suggests a defeat. Yeah, if Man United away is a bonus game, mate. So Leicester away after Watford. James is saying a point. Kieran's saying a point. Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon a point. Yeah. So and we Leicester cold last season. Yeah, to a degree. 40 points. 40 points. We're all thinking a draw on this, so we'll hit the safety margin. Middle of February, by the looks of things. And then Paul says good record recently against Leicester. Let's say a draw. Absolutely. We're all saying the same thing, which is good. It's always nice to see. And then we are at home to Newcastle. Straight away, my instinct says a point. Straight away, it's got a point written all over this. It really does. To make sure that we don't lose, like we did at the first fixture last season, because it is now technically last season. So I think this will be very difficult. Chad says I think we might have a good chance against Man United if they get rid of Pogba and Cavani. But we've moved on from there now, mate. We've moved down 3 games since then. Kieran says, what's the date for Newcastle, JP? It is the 19th of Newcastle, 19th of February, as it stands. James says, I hate Newcastle. We don't beat them. A draw. Darren says a win. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, James. It's a point all day long for me. It really is. And then we are at home to Wolves on Saturday the 26th of February. Of course, Newcastle will not keep getting out of jail with their owner. Feel sorry for their fans, but they could well be nailed on relegation fodder this year victory. Season, not year. American football, as in American soccer, is a year, January to December. We don't do that. So it's season, not year. Take that American Sky Sportsisms out of you there, mate. Kieran says my birthday weekend must be a win. Well, hopefully. James, win Wolves. Cheers, Paul. James says win Wolves will be struggling by then. I think a point myself, mate. I generally do. I think a point. Kent says, "Hello, Kent. Hope you're right, mate. Win versus Newcastle. We need to show progression. We need to win these games." And Darren says, "A win against Wolves." I'm thinking a point. I'm not going to over-egg it. I'm thinking a point. I really am. So going into March, this game has a loss written all over it. Unfortunately, really, really does. Saturday the 5th of March, Liverpool away. Now, I'd love for us to get a point, of course, but my instincts are saying Liverpool are going to be too good this season, and we're going to lose both games. I really think we will. Paul says, if we're serious about being top six again, we have to win home games against teams like Wolves. Absolutely. James says, loss, move on. Yeah, it is. I can't see anything else other than a loss against Liverpool. I really, really can't. Kieran says, not much hope there. Absolutely agree. See what else you guys are saying before. Chad says 3-0 Liverpool, more than likely. Paul says Liverpool away defeat almost always since 1963. Yeah, almost, with the exception of 5 years ago. Yeah. Yes, everyone's saying that's going to be a loss. Then if we get a point, it'd be fantastic. But anyway, the next game is Spurs away. Ken says loss versus Liverpool. We get done after a good performance. Yeah, you're probably right there, mate. Spurs away, middle of March. Of course, now we'd always like to say win for this. Of course. Kieran says a 3-3 draw. Yeah, Paul he hasn't missed this out. That's why I said nearly always since 1963, because that's the only time we've blipped it. Yeah, that's why I said always. That's why I said nearly always. That's almost always, I should say. That's why, because he was referring to that. James says Spurs away, going to say a draw. Darren says a draw. Kent being Kent says a win. Nobody's wrong in any shape or form with this. Personally, I think we're going to get a point. Chad says good feeling about a Hammers win. We'll obviously have to wait and see, of course. But personally, I'm thinking a draw on that. I really do. Now heading into April, first away game, Everton. Oh, sorry, no, sorry, other way around. Home game, I should say, to Everton. Home against Everton. Paul says, really hope the Spurs struggle big time this season. Having floundered, finding a manager, take another point off them. There's flashy stroke spiffy stadium. Thanks. Yeah, a point would be nice, mate. A point would be nice. And Kieran saying a draw is what. Kieran, you saying another draw for Everton? I'm guessing by the looks of it. Yeah, you said 3-3 draw for Spurs. So yeah, I'm thinking. I do. I'm thinking it's I'm thinking a draw myself. It'd be lovely to get a win, of course, but yeah, a draw for me. Tough team with no European football. Yeah. Well, we might still be playing European football. Then we might not. You never know. Never ever know. Next game. Away to Brentford. Now I know Kent's going to be all over this if we are able to go for it. Paul saying a draw. Pretty much straight away. I'm kind of thinking. I mean, Kieran's saying big away win. I don't think so. I don't know. I generally don't go on this, but I'm going to go to see what you guys are saying on that, because I really don't know against Brentford. It's an unknown quantity. They could be flying high. They could be relegation fodder. I do think they're going to be relegation fodder. I really genuinely do. They're not good enough from what I've seen of them last season. James says away win for me too. Tell my mate how bad Brentford are. Yeah, I'm thinking a win. I'm thinking a win out of this. The more I'm thinking about it, Paul says the air would have gone out of Brentford's sails by now unless they are fighting big time to beat relegation. So it's got to be a win. I'll take you. Yeah. Okay. We'll put that down. So we're on 47 points so far going into the third game of April, Saturday the 16th, at home. At home to Burnley. Ken says, "I will be all over this. Win tickets if we can. We'll all over this. Win tickets if we can. We'll be like rocking horse." Not really sure where you're going with that, mate. James is asking what date is that. As I said, mate, 16th. Burnley's the 16th, and Brentford's the 9th. Joe says, "I think Brentford would give West Ham a good show. They probably will. They'll probably be fighting for their lives by then. But Burnley on the 16th at home, I'm thinking a draw. It has a draw all over it for me. It really, really does. But you never know. You never know what could potentially happen. I mean, obviously, there's history. James says a home win. Obviously there's history with certain things over the last few years. Darren says smash Burnley. Kent saying win against Burnley is a must. Be nice because I said the away fixture would get a win. Not too sure about. I think this is around about the time of the season where Burnley gets up and running a bit better than they do. Paul says have to beat Burnley at home. It will be almost certainly fighting relegation all season, not year. He's learning. And Kieran says Woods to score again. But I'm thinking a draw on this. I really am. And also, the penultimate London derby of the season, Chelsea away. Chelsea away. Oh, I don't know. We've done all right over there. Do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, James says let's move on. Do you know what? I'm gonna say a point. I'm saying a point out of this. I really am. There's something about this. I just think it's gonna be a point. And that's welcome. He says a loss. I think as a Chelsea fan, I'm surprised Youssef isn't in to give his thoughts on this. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to predict this, but I'm thinking a point. I really am thinking a point. I don't know why. Darren's on there. Kieran says lost. No chance they will be going for the league. Paul says got to go for it. Say a win. Show these plastic fans where to place their flag. And a draw. Draw says Ken. And that says beat Arsenal. Oh, he deleted his message. Okay, we'll set up with 9 at the back. More than likely. That's why I'm going for a draw, mate. That's why I'm going for a draw. And that says Chelsea. It could be, mate. Absolutely. Last London derby of the season. Home to Arsenal. Now, for some random reason, I don't know why, my instincts are saying a win on this. I have no idea why. Absolutely no idea why. Last game of April, 30th of April, payday weekend. My instincts are saying a win. And it says beat Arsenal, lose against Chelsea. He's definitely a Chelsea supporter then. But yeah, I do win against Arsenal. We own one. We do, and that's why that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. James's home win. I hope we do him. Absolutely. Saturday, May 7th, 3 days before my birthday. God, a birthday on a Tuesday. Ugh. We are away to Norwich. Fancy a good finish unless we win the Europa League final. Yeah. Penultimate away game, Norwich. 7th of May. Paul says Arsenal are so jammy against us and always up their game. Sadly, heads says draw maximum. Fair enough. We'll all find out. But yeah, I do generally think we're gonna have Yeah. Yeah, I think we play better at Carrow Road against them than we do at home for some random reason. Chad says beat Chelsea, lose to Arsenal, and beat Norwich. Yeah, I agree. Last home game of the season it could only be this. It could only be this to make us feel really fucking shit. City at home. Kent says win versus Norwich, Skamouth and Norwich weekend. Anna says easy win, Norwich will be relegated. Very possibly. Man City at home for the last home game of the season. It's a loss, isn't it? It's a loss, guys. It's a loss. I really think it is. Maybe a point. Maybe a point. And that says Noble to score winning penalty to win us the Premier League. Not going to happen, mate. What we've been talking about is Chad says loss for us. We're on 55 points before this game, so we're not winning the league with 55 points. Never going to happen. James says Noble's final game was a point. It could happen. It could happen. I said it's possibly a point. So I'm gonna stick it in there. A point. Paul says by this point it becomes a silly season, as you know. Probably better away, as you say. Win against Norwich, possible draw against City, and they are the finals. We haven't come across that yet, Kent. Hold your horses, son. Kieran says I missed the first 4 games. John, could you tell me what they are? Newcastle away for the first game on the 14th of August. Leicester at home on the 21st. Crystal Palace at home on the 28th. And Southampton away on the 11th of September. Which is why this is what happens when you don't click the bell, guys. When you subscribe, click the bell so you know when we're going live. And also follow the channel on Twitter because I confirm details up on there as well. So you got no excuses. Everything's been loaded. But yeah. So the last game of the season. Last game of the season, away game down at Brighton on the Sunday the 22nd of May. Kent reckons a win. I do. James says a draw, as we never win there ever. Last game of the season, decent points. Yeah, I want to say a win, but no, I can't see it. I really, really can't. So, what we've discussed, give or take a few things, we're around about 60 points. 57 that I predict. Nice try, Paul. Kieran says 2-0 win and the double over him. Chad says Brighton win, but I hope I'm wrong. Anas Ahmed says, why don't you come on West Ham Fan TV? I used to, but I don't anymore. That's why. I used to do it, but I don't anymore. I don't have time, to be honest with you. This takes up a lot of my time doing this stuff. It really, really does. Because afterwards I've got things that it's difficult. I've been on the West Ham Fan TV fan cams. Was it 2 seasons straight? 2 seasons straight before lockdown, and I did a few of them after that. And to be honest with you, I just didn't feel like I was welcome back. To be honest with you, I really don't. Nothing against Nicky. He's a great bloke, and he's a nice guy. But I just didn't feel welcome doing them, so I stopped doing it. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's all 38 fixtures in the Premier League. Now, obviously, these are subject to change because of the Europa League. I was about to say Europa League final. But that's the thing. So, guys, thank you very, very much for your time, as always. It's apologies that we had some technical issues, but it always happens. Always happens with Streamlabs. I don't know why. It just ever since the latest update, it's been screwing about. It will settle down at some point, but hopefully it'll be alright later tonight. It might be because I got 2 things put up as live. It might have screwed things up in the day, so that might be why. But guys, thank you very, very much for your time. We're all thinking roughly the same sort of thing, so we're looking at between 50 and 60 points for this season. Hopefully we'll have to hopefully we'll get, if we get around about 50 to 60, I'll be very, very happy. But guys, thank you very, very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope to see you at 7 o'clock tonight, UK time, for the weekly live chat. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I know it's too early for you, Kieran, but set your alarm and get some coffee down your throat, mate. Because there's a lot to talk about. But obviously, Kieran, if you are gonna miss it, please do watch it back and put your comments in the comment section below. For both as well, for that matter. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves, and I will hopefully see you tonight. All the best.